Good evening, this is Danny Elms. Tonight's video will be how to use and access Zip Forms. Zip Forms, again, is the site that you will use for the contracts, the forms, so that you can edit them, sign them, and save them. So we'll start by showing you two ways to get to the Zip Forms. The first way, so you'll just log into MetroTex in my case, or MLS. Log in. Just waiting for the screen to redraw. Sorry for the delay. And if you scroll down, there's the Zip Forms icon right there. Okay. You'll need to, if you don't have a username or password, you will need to create one. Okay. Click here to create an individual Zip Form Plus account, and you'll go through the steps. Now, I go a different way, so I'm going to leave that. If you want to access Zip Forms through MLS, Netris, MetroTex, use the example I just gave. However, what I do, and I have it bookmarked, and it actually either way comes to the same site. I just go to this site directly. It's texasrealestate.com. You will need to have an account, obviously, and you see, since I've got it bookmarked, I'm already logged in. So once you've logged in, there are the Zip Forms. So click the blue icon, Zip Form, and you're ready to go. And you can see I've got several transactions that I've created over the years, but we'll show you how to do it. So let's say, for example, new. There's the cursor. We'll go new. Okay. And let's say we're going to make a offer on a home. Enter the name or property address. Let's just call it the default 123 Main Street, Dallas, Texas 75240. And I'm kind of boring, so I use the same name as the property address. Okay. And I can go ahead and put in Dallas, Texas 75240. I will clean this up right here. Okay. Then I'll go down a little bit further. I'll say it's a residential. We'll say it's active. And you can create templates to use. And once you start using Zip Forms, and templates come in really handy, so you can just have a lot of the information that you use often automatically populated into the forms. Okay, so we'll go down a little bit further, and I will create. Okay, the window changes, and we go to this window right here. So now you have these little screens right up here. So why don't you go ahead and go to the parties, okay? And you can see that I'm advertising myself as the selling agent, but let's say I'm representing the buyer. I'll go buyer one, and let's say the first name is Mary, and her last name is Jones. And of course, we want the email. We want the email because we want Mary to be able to sign the documents. We're going to send them through Authentisign, and you get the idea. So I'm going to give Mary, let's give her my United address just to show you how it works. Okay. All right. And then we will go save. Okay. So you can see Mary Jones is there, buyer one. So I've got my parties in there. You can add your lender, your appraiser, your home warranty company. But the ones that really need to be in here are the ones that sign the documents. Okay. So now we're going to go to the documents themselves. Right now we've got an empty slate. The blue button here, all forms. So I always select all at the top, so I get a list of every document available to me. So since we're making an offer and it's a home, sometimes I simply don't know the number of the form. I have a cheat sheet I use, or better yet, I know it's a 1 to 4. Okay, and there it is, 1 to 4. Sometimes you may not guess the right word, so just keep trying. Okay, so I need the 1 to 4. And let's say, for example, I know it is a situation where my borrowers have to take out a conventional loan. I'm going to need the third party financing. Okay. And you see, I've just got two examples here. One came from Trek, the other came from Texas Realtors. I'll select, it really doesn't matter. And let's say, just for grins, I'm going to do, let's say, the lead based paint. Okay. Oops, sorry. My bad. All forms again. Select library, all lead. Addendum for seller's disclosure of info on lead based paint. And now, given it's June 24th and past, with the new NAR settlement, I need also the buyer rep agreement. Okay, and see, it didn't like that, so I just got to put buyer. Okay, residential buyer, and that came from Austin. So I'm going to go down here. There it is, residential buyer tenant rep agreement. Okay, there's a short form, and I'm going to use the short form just for grins. Okay, so now we've got 4 documents, and what I would do is I would go in and fill these out. So I'll just fill this one out here just for argument's sake. And you can see the parties, because I've added Mary Jones, she defaults here. Now real estate's a broker. Okay, definitions. Now, this is a brand new form that was created. It's called the short form for the buyer's rep agreement. It is a 1-pager. So I am supposed to have this completed before I show them the first house. So by showing you this example, I'm actually behind because I needed to have this done even before I wrote the contract, if that makes sense. But we'll say I'm doing it now. Definitions. Where am I showing them properties? This question comes up a lot. If you're only showing one, give the address of the house. If you're showing multiple, you might want to say, for example, Dallas County, comma, Cullen County. And let's pick one more, Denton County. So I am saying my buyer rep agreement covers those 3 counties. Someone asked, can I put the state of Texas? Well, sure you can, but just make sure you define where it is possible that your buyer will purchase a property. Okay, term, let's say started today. And let's say I want, because closing a home can take 30 plus days, I'll say 60 days and I'll close it on September 7th. Okay. So broker obligations, I'm doing full service because I am writing the contract and I'm showing homes. Where this short form allows this showing services, which is nothing but the name that they're giving us as agents who do showing services only, are Uber agents, which is where all we do is we open a home, show the home, and tell them to have a nice day, or multiple homes. Okay, because you can see as a showing service, paragraph 6, 7, and 8 do not apply. Broker will provide client with access to properties in the market area, which was up here. Client will pay broker a fee of X. So you define what that fee is. And we're still discussing within United how those fees will take place. Like, will you bring them into the office? Will you get Zelled and then just write us a check? We just don't know yet. We're still working through those issues. Okay, so since I am a full service, I look at number 6, which are my client obligations. Number 7, broker's compensation. This is what the whole NAR lawsuit was about. So I've talked to my buyer and I've shown my value to them. And I've told them, okay, I'm going to write a contract for you. I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to win you a house, do all the negotiations for you. And for that, I expect to be paid. Okay. So they have come to an agreement to pay me 1.5%. Okay. Or I could do a flat fee. So I like the flat fee better. So they're going, okay, because they might buy lesser expensive home. So they're going to pay me $3,000 to represent them. All right. Then we come down to intermediary. Client does or does not. Of course they do, because we could be buying another home that a United agent's offering. Okay. Then I come down here and you see there's Mary over here. There's myself there. So I'd put in my license 0704175 and I will sign it. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Okay. So we've got this one form filled out. And what I would do in this example is complete this form, complete the 1 to 4, complete the lead-based paint addendum, and complete the third-party financing. Then I would come over here to this side. I've got my forms. So what I want to do, I want to see the blue box here, prepare signing. Okay. Buyer rep agreement, short form. Return folder select, main folder or archive. I'll put it in the archive. Create. Screen starts to change. Okay. So there's the form we just completed, right? Now, if I had additional forms I wanted to pull in, so let's say, for example, I wanted to pull in my IABS, I could pull that in here, but we'll leave it just like this for the time being. So I'm going to add participants. Let's go add from transaction. Let's go myself and the buyer. I go select. Okay. All right. Now we'll go down to tools. See, I've gone from signers. I've got my signers, and whoever's at the top signs first. So if you wanted Mary to sign first, you would move her over. Okay. There's lots of things to choose from here. So just take a look at this sometime and get yourself familiar with it. Okay. Okay. Back to setting the signing order. I went to the top here. Danny's going to sign first. Mary's going to sign second, or I could do 2 and 1. Okay. And just like that, it's changed. Okay. But I want to leave just like this. All right. So we're good there. I'm going to go to tools. Now scroll down to the bottom. Now look at this. Because I've already mapped the participants, I've said Danny is part of the brokerage. So look at that. It's automatically populated. And Mary is the buyer, and she's automatically populated here with the auto date. Okay. So we're ready to go. Back up to the blue next. Okay. I usually don't mess with this because I'm constantly communicating with my buyers or sellers. So I've told them it's coming. Okay. But you can use this to put an expiration. If, let's say, for example, they're overseas or on vacation, you can put a date in here where the documents are null and void in a sense. And I will go send. Okay. And away they go. Now, what will happen as the screen redraws, my phone here, my cell phone, just sent an email. It says, Danny Elms, your signature is requested. I can't show you this, obviously, but I'm going into my cell phone and I'm opening the document. I accept it and I sign, complete signing. Okay. And I'm done. So the first signature is done. That's simple. Okay. So now what will happen is it will come into my personal inbox. So I'm going to go over here and see if it's there yet. Okay, inbox. And I don't see one yet. It hasn't arrived yet, which is sometimes the case. All right. It just hasn't come in yet. But what I'm looking for is AuthentiSign telling me that the document has arrived. And it hasn't quite yet, so it's still in process, which sometimes happens. It's a little slow. But you can go here, back up to the top. There's your checklist. Okay. no urgent tasks. You can put some notes. Now, e-sign. Now, here is where you can check the status of the envelope, as you can see here, and open it up. And you can see here, there's the first signee, authenticated and approved. Mary, which was my United email address, it hasn't come through yet, so we don't have it authenticated nor signed. Okay. Up here, some important dates created 7/8 this time, modified, and expiration. So it expires in a month, basically. Okay. That's because I didn't do anything to expire it earlier. All right. So let's go back here to see if it's popped in yet. And it hasn't. That's disappointing. I wanted to show you what happens next. Let's see if I can get. It's just not there yet. So go back to the transaction. And I will go back to, what's this? I'll show you one that has created. Okay. Let's just pick this one, for example. This was a house that I bought, I think 2.5 years ago, up in McKinney. And so here was the e-sign going back there. Okay. And you can see the envelope will say completed. Okay. This one was canceled, but you get the idea. So if I just click on this one here, the 1 to 4, you can see my clients' names are here, Holly and Chris, great couple here in Addison, and they both completed. So that's what you're looking for. So I will go back to the list. I will go, this was the file we're using right here. Click back on it. Okay. And it's currently active. So this, in a nutshell, is how you access your zip forms, how you find the documents you need and add them, how you fill them out, and then how you send them out to authentication. Okay, so I hope this is helpful. And again, you can access zip forms through the way I do it, through texasrealestate.com or through Netris. So hopefully this helps. Hope you have a great day.